Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. The world-rated heavyweight Demsey McKean had a chance to impress against journeyman Don Haynesworth, but largely under-delivered in a 6th round stoppage, and this was on the Demetrius Andrade Jason Quigley undercard in the United States. This was the first fight on McKean's Matchroom deal, first fight out of Australia. He gets the win, but largely didn't fire. And I know some people maybe will say, hey, look, first fight of his deal, but a guy like Don Haynesworth, who's a flat-out journeyman, no matter the sort of finessing the commentators were trying to give him, bigging him up, basically saying great shape for him and, you know, best opportunity. The dude was 293 pounds, barely threw any punches in the fight, and the ending was fishy. I'm going to tell you that now because Don Haynesworth, clearly after the 4th round, decided he didn't really want to be there. I thought he was looking for a way out. The final sequence in that 6th round, he basically started lolling his sort of head around a bit, basically giving the referee the opportunity to jump in. Some referees wouldn't, but Don Haynesworth started to demonstrate some bad body language, and I believe he wasn't really even that hurt. And then he had his fake crocodile tears afterwards saying, oh, why did you stop the fight? But clear to see, for all, he'd just given up. He didn't want to be there. But this was a fight where Demsey McKean should have done better. And as you know, I've covered Demsey McKean for some time on this channel. He's been in much better, bigger fights, even in Australia. Kiki To'oloteli, he had a good win, a stoppage against Jonathan Rice. Much better performances and better fights overall in those ones. This here was a showcase fight, and he didn't deliver. Largely for the first couple of rounds, it was just a feel out. He didn't really do too much. He was a lot of feinting, just coming forward at the odd jab, the odd shot to the body, didn't really tax himself. And the fact that Don Haynesworth was just backing up at the high guard up, basically he wasn't expending much energy as well. He wasn't throwing many punches either. So clear early rounds to Demsey McKean, started to ramp it up in the 3rd round. But it was a case that McKean looked good when he started to string his punches together, throw in combination, but he just didn't do it enough. And I think he was a little guilty of headhunting. Don Haynesworth, all 293 pounds of him, he was open to the body. And it was a case that McKean, I don't think, really came in there to break him down. He looked more intent of trying to sort of stop him with a big headshot. And he did start to get it on him in the 4th round towards the end, but too little too late to sort of really get him out of there. Maybe some refs would have jumped in and stopped Don Haynesworth at the end of round 4. And Don Haynesworth, for me, was giving off vibes that he wanted to be stopped. This guy has perfected the art of looking like he's in trouble, even when he isn't really rocked. Some of the shots not really landing cleanly. I just thought he didn't want to be there. And that's the same for the ending, that he'd decided he'd had enough and he was going to give off enough bad body language to make it that the ref had to act. So, yeah, fishy for Don Haynesworth. As I've said, there's a couple other fights of his where he's basically, Simon King was another one where you can go check that out. Dodgy sort of ending. Other ones too where it feels like he doesn't want to be there at points and ultimately gives up. So I don't want, as I've said before, Haynesworth is in the camp where I think I don't want to see him again. Put that Trey Lippy Morrison performance aside, where he actually decided, I think I've got a chance in this fight against Morrison, who's, you know, a step down from Demsey McKean. That aside, this guy, I think they should stop wheeling him out because it's clear that he doesn't do much in there and he's basically going to give up at some point. And we saw it again. I don't care what anyone tells me. At some point in this fight, he gave up and ultimately he was out of there. But McKean himself didn't put in an effort where I thought this was impressive. He could have done much better. He could have come in there and tried to really break him down to the body. But all the 293 pounds of him, it just felt when he did start to really put his shots together, he was clipping Don Haynesworth, not necessarily hurting him, but it felt like the accuracy wasn't there. And I've got to say, the inside work was almost non-existent by Demsey McKean. He looked decent at range, but as soon as he got to the inside in the clinch, he didn't really know what to do. He wasn't effective at all in the clinch. Some people might say he's a bit rusty. He fought about 6 months ago. So he hasn't been out forever, but he didn't look It wasn't the sort of showcase fight and the sort of impressive performance that I think he would have been wanting. I mean, the commentators were talking up Haynesworth, the opportunity for him, but also for McKean. You know, he wants the names like Parker, Tyson Fury. I think you're going to have to cut those expectations down a little bit. I think it's more likely someone like Zhang Jilei. It feels like that's an evenly matched fight at this point. Both these guys, southpaws as well, could be quite interesting. I think really they are on the sort of same par at the moment. And Matchroom need to start matching some of their heavyweights who are at a certain point with each other. We've seen too many times where it's just, you know, certain level gatekeepers and journeymen just recycled over and over for Matchroom's heavyweights. And then we've seen a whole bunch leave because they've taken opportunities elsewhere. It feels like sometimes a Matchroom heavyweight can't get a decent fight unless you're one of the 2 or 3 top dogs. Need to start matching some of these guys. McKean Zhang feels like it would be a good competitive fight, good co-main event, or potentially headline a fight night card. I don't know, something like that. But I think a missed opportunity for Demsey McKean, and hopefully no more of Don Haynesworth, because again, soft ending, didn't really do too much in there, didn't look like he wanted to be in there at spots. And as soon as things got a little bit tough, we thought, okay, here's the way out. Might seem a little bit like I'm on edge here, but it just felt like this was another fishy ending, at least from what I saw of Haynesworth and what I've seen of him before. What do you make of it all? Drop a comment, loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.